I first met Mary Lynn Ziemer at a program for people trying to lose weight. And I remember thinking she had a lot of interesting things to say in the sense that the desire needs to come from within and your belief system. And I've been on enough roller coaster diets that I could understand what she was saying. But my career is as a romance writer, so as she was talking about changing your thought process within to have a better outcome, all I could think of is I really need her to talk to my romance chapter, because it would help all of us so much in our career, where we have that internal editor constantly telling us what we cannot do. And here was Mary Lynn showing us how to change ourselves to show what we could do. So that was the first time I met her. So I was able to get her to speak to our chapter. And I also, at the same time, started going to individual sessions. And I think what has changed the most for me is that when I moved here 2 years ago, I literally have the life of my dreams. I've married the man of my dreams. I have the perfect home. And after 9 years, my dream came true and I published a novel. And at the time, 2 years ago, you would think, that's it. This is as happy as I can be. And so it struck me in a very confused, dark way that I really wasn't happy. And how much more did I need to be happy? And I would always focus on what I didn't have. I wasn't the weight that I wanted to be. And I hadn't published a second novel. I wasn't as famous as friends who had started off at the same time with me 9 years ago. And I was focusing on the things that I didn't have, as opposed to the glorious life that I was leading. And I think what has changed the most in going through these individual sessions is the ability to stop and be grateful for the large things and also the teeny tiny things that happen. To stop in the middle of my day and say, I'm grateful for this exact moment, as small as it could be. And in going through these sessions and starting to change myself within, whether it's the thought process or the words that are coming out of my mouth or the actions that I'm taking in my life, I'm finding that it's almost like all the things that I've ever wanted in life are now coming to me, and I'm acknowledging each one, and I'm grateful for each one, and that's a huge miracle for me. And one of the sessions, Mary Lynn asked me to write a list of all the crazy unreachable goals that I would love to have. And it didn't matter how it wasn't how we were going to break it down and get it. It was just, here's this overreaching, wonderful goal that I have. And she made me pick 3. And the first one was that I would like to write a book in less time than the first one took me, which was between 2 and 5 years, but with the rewrites. And a lot of my friends are writing 3 books a year. So I thought, all right, if she wants a really unrealistic goal that I would really love to be able to achieve, I said 3 books a year. And so we parsed it down on how we were going to do it. And at the time, I had an editor who emailed me and said, oh, by the way, I'm expecting your manual in 2.5 months. And I'd completely forgotten that deadline. And my first instinct was, I can't do it. And then I thought about what Mary Lynn had said, and I had the help of my husband, who is very analytical and mathematical, and he broke down the word count per day if I were to reach it in 2.5 months. And it was actually realistic for me to write that many words in a day. So I did not cancel my editor's deadline. And with Mary Lynn's help every week, cheering me on, I was able to write an entire novel in 2.5 months. And that, paperback size, that I didn't let that internal editor stop me, or freeze me in fear. I never know what my plot is going to be, so it's very easy for me to give up and go get a pedicure. And this time, I just sat there and let the words and the thoughts just come out, and I never stopped myself. I never stopped the story. And it's the first time in my life, and I've been trying this since 2005, that it just poured forth. And again, when I'm talking about miracles, this is a miracle for me. 2.5 months as opposed to 5 years.